Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the reason you're here tonight, okay? Because I'm the skunk at this party at the moment. Let me explain. I think what I heard, I didn't expect anything less. I expected, and I would have been disappointed if I did not hear the Hague School parents come down and support their school. I'm just one who challenges assumptions. And I want to point out that when we talk about, well, first of all, I think this board has been together a long time at this point. And I think if you ask the other four members, they would tell you that I had reservations about the Hague School even 2 years ago, but that decision was deferred, so we didn't have to get to that point. The reason that I've looked at this issue and challenged my fellow board members is enrollment projections change, and even in the 2 years since we opened the process of making the renovations to the first 3 schools, our enrollment projections have continued to go down. We unfortunately, however you characterize it, have been off on our both kindergarten and our first grade enrollment projections for the last 2 years. We've projected higher numbers than we received for the last 2 years. If I were to show you, and some of you out there have this, I spent conservatively 10 to 12 hours going through the school budget and going through the enrollment projections that the administration provided. Now, you could tell me, well, I think those enrollment projections are wrong. That's fine, and that's legitimate. Except that if I think that their information is erroneous in our budget, as the budget committee representative to the school board, I have a hard time to go to the budget committee and make a case for the school budget if someone says, well, they can be wrong in this regard. So I have to at least assume that those numbers are right. We're going to see if those numbers are right. By the year 2016, we're going to drop from an elementary enrollment that's currently at 1734 down to 1439. We are going to lose nearly 250 students, more than the enrollment of the Hague School now. And although the administration didn't do it initially, I took the time to break down the projected enrollments in that school. And right now, the Hague School is at 219. 2 years from now, at the time we would open any renovations, it would be down to 205. And by the 2016-2017 year, that is as far out as the budget book goes, that number will drop to 181. Now, what does that mean in practical terms? We've talked about the difference in the capital cost. And let's say it's 1.4 or 1.5. By the time you get done paying the interest, it's $2 million over the 20 years. So you start with that. Then you look at the operational costs that no one's talked about. I did the analysis, and by the 2016 year, we're probably going to be spending an additional $1 million a year to keep Hague School open. The reason I say that is because if you think about it, at 181 students, we're going to have a grade distribution, which is going to mean that we're obviously not going to have the students in one classroom, but what we're going to have is we're going to have potentially grades 3, 4, and 5 with enrollments of 15 and 16, while in our other schools we have 20 and 22 and 24. So the pendulum is going to swing considerably in terms of the whole issue of equity and fairness. This school is going to have very, very low student-teacher ratios 5 years out, based on the projections that we have, as opposed to the rest of our schools. And so if I thought that there was, over a 20-year bond period, the opportunity to save $20 million and take that $20 million and put it toward the high school renovations that we all agree are badly needed, I don't think I can necessarily just look past that. So I support you. I support your dedication. I need you to understand that if this is supported, and you don't have to worry, you've got 4 votes over here, so You don't need to worry. But understand that over 20 years, we're going to spend $20 million to keep this school open that we're not going to be able to spend to renovate this school or to renovate the middle school. The educational opportunities, the class size numbers, if you break down the class size numbers, you're going to see that the class sizes would not significantly change from where they are now, because our other schools are going to be dropping in proportion. If we stay with a 6-school model, the Barron School, which is currently at 337, is going to drop down to 265. We're going to have empty classrooms in the Barron School 5 years out, if the enrollment projections we have are accurate. You're going to have empty classrooms at the Lancaster School. So the question is, potentially, what does that mean? And that's why I raised the issue. That's why I supported the phase 1 renovations. There is no one in this community who believes more in getting Salem High School renovated, who has supported the teachers and tried to get raises for our educational staff. We all know what the taxes did this year, and we're all taxpayers at the end of the day. So all we need to do is make a judgment about how much we really want to spend for this educational opportunity. And clearly it is an educational opportunity. Clearly, if we have 15 and 16 students in a class, they will be getting a very, very good education. I certainly hope so. We have some marvelous staff in all of our schools. I've provided some people in the audience with that breakdown. If you wanted to see, it's like 38 pages.
Yeah, 43.
43, okay? I spent,
font.
yeah, it's in big font. It's presentation style. But I mean, I spent many hours over vacation, and this has kept me awake at nights over vacation, worrying about this issue and struggling with the idea that, I want to support the renovations. God knows we need to finish the project and get the portables off our other 2 schools. We need to make the changes. We need to bring the safety renovations, the sprinklers. We need to do the security upgrades, all of that associated with the Fisk and the Seoul School, which I support. I'm having a little trouble from an educational equity standpoint and from just a cost standpoint of holding on to this particular building. So like I said, I'm the guy who brought you out tonight because I raised the question on December 20, and frankly, we hadn't studied that question. And I'm going to take credit for at least forcing everybody to look at that issue, because nobody did. Nobody looked at the enrollment figures and said, well, what is this going to mean for us 5 years out? And until I pushed, we didn't see that data. Now, the superintendent has validated at least my numbers in terms of the staff, in terms of the operational savings. So it's not like the numbers are wrong. It's the judgment that you're all making. Is it going to mean $20 million over 20 years to continue to operate this school? And that's the judgment you all have to make. So, I think you're all set, so you don't have to worry. But now we got to go out and sell that, and we have to realize that there's a piece of that we have to answer to the rest of the community about.
Thank you.